Lost in the spiritual maze, you find yourself standing at the entrance of a vast and winding path, eager to uncover the truth that lies ahead. This journey often begins with an overwhelming sense of excitement, a desire to find answers, healing, and perhaps that elusive enlightenment. You may remember a time when the mere thought of exploring spirituality sparked a flame of curiosity within you, yet as you stepped onto this winding road, a wave of confusion washed over you, leaving you questioning everything. How did you get here? Was it a genuine quest for truth, or were you merely following the footsteps of others, trying to fit into a mold that felt far too constricting? Your journey through spirituality often feels like navigating a labyrinth filled with flickering lights of hope and shadows of self-doubt. Elisabeth Kübler-Ross, a pioneer in understanding human emotions surrounding life and death, provides insight into this complex territory. Her groundbreaking work has illuminated the emotional pathways we traverse when facing grief, loss, and challenges, emotions that resonate deeply in our spiritual explorations. Have you ever felt caught between the desire for certainty and the fear of the unknown? As you wander this maze, societal pressures surround you, whispering ideals of how your spiritual path should look. You might see others posting about their profound experiences, yoga retreats, or moments of spiritual clarity and wonder why you haven't arrived at that place yet. This comparison can lead you down a slippery slope, a feeling of being lost in a sea of shoulds and musts. But what if being lost is not the enemy? What if it's an essential part of the journey? Consider your personal experiences, times when you felt energized by the possibility of spiritual growth, only to be met with setbacks that cast shadows over your aspirations. Each twist and turn in this maze can evoke a mix of emotions: excitement, frustration, elation, and sometimes despair. Perhaps you've tried various practices, meditation, prayer, or reading sacred texts, searching for that magic key that would unlock the door to enlightenment. Yet, how often did those attempts leave you grappling with disappointment as they didn't lead to the expected destination? Kübler-Ross suggests that the path of understanding is often riddled with complex emotions that we might not even acknowledge: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and ultimately acceptance. Each of these stages can play a significant role in our spiritual maze. Reflect on these feelings as stages that many have encountered. They are not obstacles, but vital checkpoints that can guide you deeper into your understanding of self. Pause for a moment and ask yourself, how do these feelings manifest in your life? Do you find yourself denying certain aspects of your journey? Are you angry at yourself for not living up to an ideal? Or perhaps you are in a stage of bargaining, trading hope for practicality, believing that if you just follow the right steps, everything will magically fall into place. It's crucial to remember that these emotions are part of the tapestry of your experience, a reflection of your humanity. As we delve deeper into the spiritual maze, it's essential to recognize that feeling lost can open the door to self-discovery. It's in these chaotic moments that we often find clarity. Do you see your confusion as a sign of being off the track, or do you embrace it as a part of the process? This perspective can transform how you navigate the path ahead. If you're curious about uncovering the truth of your spiritual journey, this discussion is just the beginning. As we explore these layers of emotion, insight, and growth, I invite you to stay tuned for the revelations that await. Subscribe now, and let's embark on this enlightening journey together, one that acknowledges the messiness of our human experience while seeking to uncover the profound depths of our spiritual selves. Facing the truth in our spiritual pursuits can lead us to uncomfortable territories. Imagine standing at a crossroads where one path is illuminated by the bright lights of spiritual conformity, while the other is shrouded in shadows, filled with raw emotions like denial and anger. Denial is often our first instinct when confronted with the unsettling realization that our spiritual beliefs may not resonate with who we truly are. It's an automatic response, a protective mechanism. We convince ourselves that everything is fine, hoping that if we ignore the gnawing doubts, they will simply fade away. Yet on this path, there comes a moment, a fracture, if you will, where the light of denial begins to dim and anger rises to the surface. You might feel it boiling inside, a fire ignited by the frustration of reconciling your inner conflicts. This can be particularly potent in our spiritual journeys, where society often imposes unrealistic expectations on what it means to be spiritual. Do you ever feel like you've been pushed into a mold that doesn't quite fit? The anger can stem from questions like, why am I not experiencing the same bliss as everyone else? Why does my journey feel more like a burden than a blessing? As Kübler-Ross emphasized in her stages of grief, anger can be a natural reaction to loss of an ideal, loss of a simplistic understanding of spirituality, and even the loss of your former self as you confront the complexities of your existence. But what if this anger is not something to suppress? What if it's an invitation to dig deeper into your truth? Think about this. The moments when you felt most angry, were they not also the moments you were closest to discovering what truly matters to you? In the world where we seek validation from others through social media posts or spiritual gatherings, many of us carry the weight of unspoken disappointment. We might showcase smiles and serene faces while silently wrestling with our inner turmoil. This facade can lead to deep feelings of inadequacy, intensifying the denial and stoking the anger as we try to align our true selves with the curated spirituality that surrounds us. Are you truly being honest with yourself about where you are on your journey? The societal pressures to present a polished version of your spiritual life can feel suffocating. Every motivational quote, every perfect photograph of a sunset with a meditative figure, and every serene escape can create a sense of isolation. You might feel like you're on a treadmill of expectations, always running but never reaching a destination. Have you ever stopped to ponder what you genuinely seek versus what others might expect you to pursue? This is where understanding anger can be transformative. It serves as a powerful compass, directing you to areas in your life that require attention. When you recognize this anger, instead of pushing it aside, try embracing it as a catalyst for change. Engage with it. Ask yourself, what is this anger trying to teach me? What boundaries do I need to establish to stay true to myself? Moving through this stage of facing truth means peeling back layers of denial and allowing anger to inform your beliefs rather than define them. It's crucial to acknowledge that while these emotions can feel overwhelming, they don't have to hijack your journey. Instead, view them as a vital part of the process, pointers that reveal the areas where your internal landscape and external expectations are misaligned. As you navigate these tumultuous waters, think back to your personal experiences. When did denial lead you to overlook crucial truths? How did that anger manifest? And what truths came to light once you began to confront it? I invite you to reflect on your own journey. Recognize those moments of denial and anger as they are signposts guiding you toward authenticity. Share your thoughts in the comments. Have you ever grappled with denial or anger in your spiritual journey? Your reflections can foster a community of shared experiences, helping others realize they are not alone in their struggles. As we continue to explore this intricate dance of emotions, let's remember that embracing the complexity of our feelings can lead us to a deeper understanding of ourselves. Your spiritual journey is uniquely yours, filled with its own lessons and revelations. Stay with us as we delve deeper into the nuances of negotiation and oppression next, where we'll explore how these emotions can further illuminate your path. As we transition to the stage of negotiation, we enter a complex arena where our desires collide with the stark reality of our spiritual experiences. This stage often manifests in our spiritual lives as a form of bargaining, a quiet struggle where we attempt to negotiate with ourselves, our beliefs, and the universe. You may catch yourself engaging in a subtle trade-off. If I just meditate more, perhaps I'll feel that transcendent peace everyone talks about. Or maybe if I perform this ritual perfectly, all my problems will vanish. This reflex of bargaining is often a response to the disappointments we face when our spiritual ideals clash with the messy reality of human existence. In the quest for spiritual fulfillment, we might bartering with our beliefs as if they are commodities. Have you ever found yourself thinking that if you follow the right practices, everything will align perfectly? This belief can lead to what many refer to as spiritual bypassing, where we prioritize our spiritual pursuits at the expense of addressing our emotional and psychological struggles. This illusion of control can create a sense of inadequacy when the promised benefits don't materialize. Reflect for a moment on your experiences. When faced with spiritual disillusionment, how often have you tried to bargain your way out of it? You might tell yourself, if I just try harder, if I meditate longer, or if I connect with the right mentor, I can attain that elusive inner peace. But what happens when those efforts don't yield the expected results? This pattern can spiral you into feelings of depression, a sense of failure that creeps in when your dreams don't match your reality. Kübler-Ross illustrates this poignant connection between negotiation and the emotional toll it takes on individuals. You might find yourself entrenched in a cycle of bargaining, feeling like you're caught in quicksand, each effort to escape making you sink deeper into feelings of inadequacy. As you engage in this dance of hope and despair, I encourage you to pause and pose these vital questions to yourself. What beliefs am I clinging to that no longer serve me? Where am I sacrificing my authenticity in exchange for an ideal? Navigating the space of negotiation can lead to soul-searching insights. It calls for an honest examination of your thoughts and feelings. When did your efforts to reach a spiritual goal feel more like a transaction than a journey? Take a moment to sit with this realization. It's crucial to understand that the very act of bargaining reveals where your true values lie. It highlights the parts of yourself that are still yearning for affirmation. Are you trying to negotiate peace in your life when perhaps what you truly need is to confront the chaos directly? Moreover, bargaining can reflect a longing for certainty in an uncertain world. It's our nature to seek control, comfort, and clarity. But in chasing these illusions, we often overlook the inherent messiness of being human. Life is not a checklist. It flows like a river, sometimes serene, sometimes turbulent. This can be a hard pill to swallow, but embracing this truth can also be liberating. Think about your personal encounters with this phase. Can you recall times when your spiritual pursuits felt like a series of bargains? Did those experiences lead to depths of understanding or moments of despair? It's essential to nurture those realizations, allowing them to illuminate your path instead of leading you into shadow. I invite you to share your thoughts in the comments. What's your secret strategy for coping when your spirituality doesn't seem to align? By collectively sharing our coping mechanisms, we can help one another navigate the rocky terrain of our spiritual journeys. As we prepare to delve further into the chaos of criticism and the realities of spiritual growth, consider how the negotiation phase can serve as a crucial turning point. Embracing this journey is not about attaining perfect alignment. It is about being honest with yourself, questioning your beliefs, and allowing the ebb and flow of life to guide you. Recognize that through these struggles, you are, in fact, forging a deeper connection to your authentic self. Let's continue this exploration, confronting the messiness that is an inevitable part of our spiritual evolution. As we delve into the profound territory of depression, we confront a heavy yet essential aspect of our spiritual journeys. Depression can create a thick fog that envelops the heart, casting shadows over our desire for enlightenment and connection. Indeed, it is one of the most difficult stages to acknowledge, yet it offers profound lessons about the depth and complexity of our emotional landscapes. Have you ever experienced that deep ache, the sensation that your spirit feels weighed down as if you are traversing through thick mud? At this stage, it's common to find ourselves grappling with feelings of isolation. In our society, we often equate happiness with spiritual growth, promoting an illusion that the two are intrinsically linked. When faced with depression, it can feel as though we've taken a step off the spiritual path, a feeling of disconnection, like a lighthouse extinguished in the night. The societal narrative typically suggests that if you are on a genuine spiritual path, you shouldn't experience such despair. This unspoken message can intensify feelings of guilt and shame, convincing you that you are somehow failing at your journey. But let's pause here. What if depression isn't a failure? What if it's an invitation to dive deeper into the hidden layers of ourselves? Elisabeth Kübler-Ross would argue that to truly move through this stage, you must first acknowledge and honor the emotion. Denying or repressing it only serves to amplify the ache inside. Instead, allow yourself to sit within that discomfort. What is depression trying to communicate to you? It's vital to recognize that depression can serve as a powerful teacher. When we face this dark night of the soul, we may unearth profound realizations about our values, desires, and the societal constructs that have shaped our beliefs. Have you ever noticed how, when in a state of despair, the world becomes stripped down to its essentials? Things that once seemed vital, like the need for recognition, validation, and even material possessions, may suddenly appear trivial, leaving you craving for something deeper and more genuine. The darkness can prompt a necessary reevaluation of what truly matters in your life. Reflect on your own experiences during these times. Has there been a moment when you felt utterly lost, yet it later led you to an unexpected epiphany? Perhaps this period of depression urged you to redefine your spirituality, reshaping it into something more authentic, far removed from external pressures and societal expectations. Many people report that their darkest moments usher in a new light, beckoning them to rise from the ashes of their former selves. The key is to allow this emotion to inform your journey rather than define it. Sitting with depression may feel uncomfortable, yet it can ignite radical self-awareness. Explore the feelings that arise: sadness, anger, confusion. Each is a thread interwoven with meaning. Insights may emerge if you give yourself the grace to let it unfold. Ask yourself, what boundaries need to be set in my life to address these feelings? Where am I seeking solace in the wrong places? This stage can also be a profound turning point. By acknowledging your depression, you can catalyze a process that leads to acceptance and healing. Imagine depression not as an endpoint, but as a critical juncture in your spiritual journey, a path that requires your attention instead of your avoidance. Your willingness to confront this darkness can lead to an abundance of light, granting you a renewed appreciation for joy and connection. As we navigate this discussion, let's create a space for vulnerability. Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments. How has depression shaped your spiritual exploration? What did you learn from those tough times? By fostering an environment of shared testimony, we can cultivate a community where no one feels alone in their struggles. In confronting and understanding depression, we can harness its lessons to aid in the spiritual quest, embracing the full spectrum of our emotional experiences. Remember that spirituality isn't about being perpetually happy. It encompasses the breadth of human emotions, navigating through light and shadow alike. Let's continue exploring this journey together, embracing the transformative power of acceptance that turns grief into grace as we prepare for the final stage of our exploration: acceptance. Here, we will unravel how embracing all facets of our journey allows us to emerge stronger, wiser, and more connected to our truest selves. As we arrive at the final stage, acceptance, we encounter one of the most profound and liberating aspects of our spiritual journey. Acceptance does not signify the end of struggles or the absence of pain. Rather, it embodies a recognition of our full selves amid the chaos. Imagine standing on the shoreline, witnessing the waves crash relentlessly against the rocks. Each wave represents a challenge or emotional turmoil you faced. Accepting reality is like embracing the sea. You acknowledge its power, its beauty, and its unpredictability. Kübler-Ross taught that acceptance is not only a final destination, but a continuous process. It calls for an ongoing practice of acknowledging who you are in both light and shadow, every aspect of your journey contributing to your personal growth. Have you ever considered that bending to the truth of your experiences rather than resisting them can unlock a profound sense of peace? Acceptance allows you to let go of the need for everything to be understood or resolved neatly. This stage invites us to reflect deeply on our lives. Think about the moments that were hard to digest, the losses, the disappointments, the feelings of inadequacy. Did you get stuck in them, or did you allow yourself to feel their weight? Embracing acceptance means recognizing these events as integral pieces of your identity. They help shape the tapestry of who you are. Acceptance isn't about condoning the difficult experiences, but about acknowledging their existence without allowing them to define your worth. This might bring to mind uncomfortable questions, prompting you to ask, how have I previously resisted accepting the reality of my experiences? What would it mean to embrace them as part of my growth? Such inquiries might be challenging, but they can open doors to deeper understanding. Acceptance allows space for forgiveness of yourself and others, liberating you from the chains of resentment or regret. Additionally, the notion of acceptance extends into your spiritual beliefs and practices. Have you ever felt confined by rigid doctrines or ideals that no longer resonate with you? Acceptance offers a gentle reminder that spiritual transformation is a fluid process. You may grow, evolve, and even outgrow certain beliefs. Allowing yourself the grace to evolve can ignite newfound insight and purpose. In practical terms, acceptance can be cultivated in daily life through mindfulness practices and self-compassion. Perhaps consider implementing small rituals into your routine. When do you find moments to pause and check in with your feelings? This can be as simple as taking a few deep breaths before stepping into a stressful situation or journaling about your experiences. These practices can help you to notice, acknowledge, and embrace your thoughts and emotions without self-judgment. Creating space for acceptance also encourages vulnerability. Sharing your journey with others can bring about understanding and compassion, both for yourself and those around you. Have you considered how vulnerability might enhance your connections with others? When you allow yourself to be real and honest, voicing your fears, your joys, and your journey, you foster a network of support that recognizes the beauty in shared imperfection. I invite you to reflect and engage in the comments. What does acceptance mean to you? How can you honor the complexity of your journey while embracing the lessons learned? Your stories could shine a light for someone else who may be seeking validation or inspiration on their own path. As we conclude this exploration, remember that acceptance is not an endpoint, but rather a guiding principle on your spiritual journey. It invites you to honor the full spectrum of life, merging the experiences of joy and sorrow. Through acceptance, you cultivate resilience and the profound understanding that in every wave that crashes against you, there is also a quiet pull of the tide, reminding you of the rhythm of existence. In this ebb and flow of life, acceptance may ultimately lead you back to joy. It is not about erasing struggles, but about embracing all facets of being human. Together, we've traversed through denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and now acceptance, forging a path rich with insight and growth. As you continue along your journey, nurture the lessons learned here and remain open to the unpredictable beauty of life. Let's walk forward, hand in hand, in this shared journey of existential discovery, ready to embrace whatever comes our way. As we stand on the foundation of acceptance, it's crucial to recognize that this final stage is not merely a conclusion, but rather a door that opens to new beginnings. Acceptance allows us to shift our perspective from resistance to embrace, inviting us to delve deeper into the multifaceted nature of our existence. What does it mean to truly live authentically, integrating all the lessons from the emotional landscape we have traversed? This journey can lead us to a realm of meaningful existence, where we interact with ourselves and the world around us with newfound clarity and compassion. Let's reflect for a moment. How often do we chase after moments of happiness and joy, believing that they are the only valid experiences in a fulfilling life? In reality, the richness of our human experience encompasses both beauty and sorrow. Imagine a garden where flowers bloom alongside weeds. Both elements contribute to the overall ecosystem. How can we cultivate our inner garden if we only focus on the flowers, neglecting the lessons the weeds may provide? This is where the practice of mindfulness becomes invaluable. It allows us to observe our thoughts and feelings without judgment, cultivating a non-reactive awareness. Have you ever taken a moment to simply breathe and acknowledge your present state, no matter how uncomfortable it may be? In those moments, we can learn to accept what we feel, whether it's sadness, confusion, or even joy, as a vital part of our ever-evolving story. There is immense power in recognizing that you are not alone in your struggles, that others share similar journeys of pain and growth. In this shared human experience, we can find connection and comfort. As you embrace acceptance, consider how you can contribute to the lives of those around you. How can your journey inspire others who may be grappling with similar challenges? Your voice can become a beacon of hope, offering reassurance that in existential darkness, there lies an opportunity for brilliance. By sharing your struggles and triumphs, you contribute to a collective narrative that honors vulnerability and encourages resilience. Moreover, acceptance invites a profound transformation in how we relate to others. When we genuinely embrace our own imperfections, we cultivate empathy for the imperfections of those around us. Rather than casting judgment, we learn to approach each other with compassion, recognizing that every soul is on a unique journey. Have you ever found moments when seeing someone else's vulnerability felt like an invitation to let down your own guard? It's in these moments that we connect with the essence of what it means to be human. As you navigate through these ideals, think about fostering a community that celebrates the beauty of imperfection and authenticity. What steps can you take to encourage this type of environment, whether at home, work, or in your broader community? Being present, listening actively, and sharing openly can build a network of mutual support, transforming relationships into safe havens where growth and healing can flourish. Now, let's pause and reflect. What would it look like to live fully in acceptance every day? What changes would you make to honor both the light and shadow within you? These reflections can guide you toward a deeper understanding of yourself and the world around you, allowing you to transform the weight of your experiences into the wisdom that can illuminate your path. Take a moment to engage with us in the comments. How do you plan to embrace acceptance in your daily life moving forward? What rituals or practices can you incorporate to remind yourself of the importance of this stage in your journey? Your shared insights might provide valuable reflections for others who are navigating their own path to acceptance. As we draw this exploration to a close, remember that acceptance does not mean defeat. It embodies the strength to allow life to unfold as it is. By embracing what is, we discover ourselves anew, enhancing our understanding of the world and the connections we forge with others. Together, we have navigated the complex landscape of emotions, from denial to acceptance, emerging with newfound insight and resilience. This journey is ongoing, a beautiful and sometimes turbulent dance that evolves with each new experience. Let's continue walking this path of exploration, hand in hand, open-hearted and receptive to the waves of existence that will continue to shape our souls. In this commitment to acceptance, we hold the potential to transform not only our lives, but also the lives of those around us, creating a ripple effect of compassion and understanding in the world. As we take this final step in our exploration, it's essential to distill the essence of what we have discussed. Each stage of our emotional journey, denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance, contributes to a profound understanding of the self and the intricate tapestry of human experience. What truths have you unveiled throughout this process? How can we integrate these insights into our everyday lives to foster continual growth? The journey we've shared is akin to traversing a winding river with ever-shifting currents. At times, the waters may seem calm, inviting you to glide peacefully along. Other times, you may face strong rapids that challenge your every stroke. Yet, the key remains to keep moving forward, to adapt and be present. This is not just a metaphor for existence. It's an acknowledgement of the fluid nature of our emotions and experiences. Isn't it fascinating how, like the river, we too have the power to change course, to reroute our lives with intention and grace? Embracing this understanding enables us to develop resilience. Have you ever witnessed a tree bending in the wind instead of breaking? This powerful image can symbolize your ability to adapt to life's challenges. Life will continue to throw obstacle after obstacle in your direction, but by nurturing a mindset rooted in acceptance, you can bend with the winds of change rather than resist them. Cultivating resilience means recognizing that struggles do not define us. They are teaching moments that enrich our understanding of strength. Let's connect this understanding back to the conversations we've had about community and support. As we each face our own trials, how can we uplift one another and acknowledge the collective journey? By actively participating in spaces that embrace honesty and vulnerability, we can foster an environment where individuals feel empowered to express their feelings without fear of judgment. This empowerment can act as a catalyst, helping those around us transform their pain into wisdom, just as we have endeavored to do in our exploration. What are some tangible ways you can contribute to this type of community? Consider acts of kindness, whether big or small. It can be as simple as checking in on a friend who seems down or sharing your journey and the lessons you've learned. By practicing empathy and genuine listening, we can create bonds that celebrate our shared humanity. Now, let's reflect specifically on the concept of gratitude. Acceptance paves the way for gratitude. It allows us to recognize how every experience, every high and low, has enriched our lives in some way. Can you recall a moment of transformation that emerged from a challenging experience? Gratitude doesn't negate pain. Instead, it acknowledges the richness of learning that can arise from adversity. By cultivating a mindset of gratitude, you foster a positive outlook that can illuminate the darkest days. I encourage you to take a moment each day to practice gratitude. What are you thankful for today? Perhaps it's the warmth of the sun on your skin, the laughter of a friend, or even a lesson learned through hardship. Keeping a journal or simply sharing these moments with loved ones can deepen your appreciation for life's tapestry. As we prepare to conclude this journey, remember that acceptance is not simply about passive resignation. It's an active practice of embracing life fully with all its complexities and joys. In embracing acceptance, we open our hearts to love, connection, and the potential for joy to flourish, even amid darkness. Together, let's commit to nurturing this acceptance and gratitude, creating not just a ripple effect in our lives, but a wave of positivity that echoes outward into the world around us. Let's keep this conversation alive in the comments. What have you learned about acceptance, gratitude, and resilience during our journey together? What practices can you see enriching your life moving forward? Your experiences and reflections can serve as a beacon of hope, illuminating pathways for others who might find themselves on similar quests. As we part ways, let's hold those insights dearly, intertwining them with gratitude for each other and the shared human experience. This journey is ongoing, a beautiful tale of growth and discovery that evolves with each new chapter. Let's step forward with courage, compassion, and creativity, ready to forge ahead with love in our hearts and acceptance in our minds. Together, we can transform the narrative of our lives, celebrating the remarkable journey of existence. Thank you for being part of this exploration. Embrace the waves of life, and may they guide you toward your true self.